Finally, Daredevil is back. Daredevil Born Again. This is my review of the first two episodes. I never thought that we're going to get this series back. Season 3 ended off very epic. I'm glad to see Matt Murdock back in the red. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on these first two episodes, and make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get right into the review. So after a long hiatus, Daredevil is back, and a lot of people had concerns, especially it being under Disney Plus. A lot of people thought that they're going to water this down. It's going to be nothing like the Netflix version, but these first two episodes lets you know right off the rip that we're back like we never left. I'm not sure how long it's been. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while since season 3. A lot of things have happened, especially with Fisk, Kingpin, and other series like Hawkeye and Echo and stuff like that. So if you want to figure out what happened to Kingpin around those times, you got to watch those series. But I like how this first episode kicks off. We got Foggy and Karen. Things are looking up. They're having a celebration at the bar. Then all of a sudden, you see my boy Bullseye. And I fuck with Bullseye, bro. Bullseye, when he pulled up in the Daredevil suit, I think that was like season 3, fire. Now he's back, and he pops Foggy. And this is the first 15 minutes, we get a major character death. That was crazy. And his whole back and forth with Bullseye, talking about Matt as Daredevil, beating the shit out of him while he's listening to Foggy just like lose his breath, or not lose his breath, but like he's quickly losing his life, and he just throws Bullseye off of a fucking building. This is all in the first 15 minutes. I was like, oh yeah, this is dope. But before we even get to the top of the building that they're at, Bullseye, as he's fighting Daredevil, he's killing mad people. He's killed he killed like 10 people, including 11 people, including Foggy. That was fucking crazy. I really like the little fight scene, you know what I'm saying? You could definitely tell that there's a little bit more budget behind just the effects of Daredevil. Like, he's a lot more agile, and he's flying around a little bit more. Not literally flying, but you know what I'm saying, he's swinging around and shit. He's doing a lot more moving around. It's not just he still used brute force and stuff like that, but I like that he's a lot more agile. That first 15 minutes was dope, and this was traumatizing for Karen. So she kind of dips off, goes to San Francisco. I know a lot of people are fans of Karen and Foggy. It is sad, but it's cool to kind of let them be out of the story. And we see Matt has a hard time kind of dealing with this, even a year later when it picks up. And now Fisk is running for mayor. They set that up at the end of Echo, like I said, and he becomes mayor by the end of the first episode. So now his whole thing is going to be going against vigilantes like Daredevil. He even calls them out, not by name, but he says, like, we don't need people with skulls on their chests. We don't need people dressed up like spiders, hinting at Spider-Man and taking shots at Daredevil, which I really hope that after season 2, we kind of get a more grounded story for Spider-Man 4 and just have it be Daredevil, Punisher, Spider-Man versus Kingpin, and he'll probably have some hired help or something like that. Like, they could bring in Tombstone, something crazy. You know what I'm saying? I would really like for this to kind of be a bridge to Spider-Man 4. You know what I'm saying? That'd be really cool. I doubt it. I think they want to go big, but not here to talk about Spider-Man. But it's just dope to let you know that they mention these characters. And essentially, that's like the first episode. Now, I know that the big villain of this season is going to be Muse, and it seems like there are hints, or if you're like pay close attention, that to what's said on the news, it seems like they are kind of teasing that, or just laying the foundations for that. Also, Matt has a new love interest that's like also a psychiatrist. I'm drawing a blank on her name, to be honest. But anyways, that's really dope for him, because now he's not all doom and gloom anymore. But I think her role is going to be really interesting. Going into the second episode, we get introduced to this guy named Hector, and he involves himself with this person getting beat up by these two people that end up being police officers, crooked police officers, and Hector ends up accidentally killing one of them, and now he is looking at life, pretty much, or the death penalty, however you want to look at it. And Matt decides to represent this man because he doesn't want nothing bad to happen, even though he knows he's hiding something. And what he's hiding is that he's the White Tiger, and that's not going to be a good look. So Matt makes sure he kind of gets ahead of that, so that can't be used against him. And I like that we also get the character of Jerry in here, which he's like a cop. He sees Matt's identity, who he is, by the end of the first episode, because Matt just kind of lost it at that time, like he was snapping. So it's kind of good to have somebody that has their ears to the streets, like Jerry. I'm curious to see where that relationship goes, but I like Jerry for the most part. And like I said, it wouldn't be Daredevil without Matt Murdock doing some courtroom shit. So I like that we do that in the second episode. Also, Kingpin has to lock down relations with the NYPD commissioner and stuff like that. The commissioner wants nothing to do with Fisk, because he knows that he's a piece of shit criminal and stuff like that. But of course, Fisk pretty much blackmails him into kind of staying around and working for him. And interestingly enough, Ben Urich's, I'm probably pronouncing his last name wrong, his niece kind of gave him this idea, like, if you don't do this, then third, if you lose the cops, like, you're not going to have any power. And Fisk has something to do with her uncle's disappearance, so that's going to be interesting. Just the people that is around Fisk is interesting. You got old boys, Gandolfini's son in this, playing Daniel. He's kind of like Fisk's guy, or we're gonna probably see him break bad at some point. But yeah, I think this did a great job of setting things up, and seeing in episode 2, where Matt tries to help the one eyewitness that could help Hector get away from being killed by these crooked cops. He takes it upon himself to kind of be a distraction, but he kind of loses it. And I don't think that was a good move on him to beat up on those guys. But if he didn't, he probably would end up with a bullet in his head. So really simple stuff going on in these first 2 episodes. I think it's a really good reintroduction into the Daredevil world. I like that we're kind of slowly letting Matt kind of build up to donning the costume again, because eventually he is going to be Daredevil again. He just doesn't want to do it just because he lost a very close friend, which is understandable and maybe an issue for some, but I'm okay because it's like we got a whole nother season. So let's see where this goes. I want to see how this whole dynamic between him, Kingpin and Daredevil goes, because I really like that whole sit down they had in episode 1 where they're pretty much having a genuine conversation while also kind of talking shit to one another, saying like, yo, like they're pretty much checking each other. Matt says like, yo, if you get out of line, I'll be right there to stop you. And Fisk pretty much says like, yeah, if you decide to put on your costume and play superhero again, I'll make sure I'll put a stop to that. So him kind of making his whole case against vigilantes that's going to be very interesting, and I'm curious to see how that plays out in the larger scale of things outside of Daredevil once it gets done. That's going to be dope. And if like Fisk is going to be brought up in a MCU movie somewhere down the line, most likely Spider-Man 4. But yeah, I like these first 2 episodes. I think it set the tone right, and it definitely does feel like a continuation of the Netflix series, just with a little bit more budget behind it. You know, I want to know your thoughts. How do y'all feel about these first 2 episodes? I wish they would have put out all the episodes. That would have been really dope, but you know, Disney don't got no balls like that. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts. How do y'all feel about episode 1 or 2? Which one did you prefer? What were some of your favorite moments? Let me know what you didn't like or any concerns you have. Let me know all that in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.